It's not unusual when you work in Adobe Photoshop to have multiple images open. Now, I do try to limit that for one reason. The more images you have open, the more RAM memory is required to maintain those images, and it slows things down. So whenever you can, if they're not necessary, you should probably close them. However, when you're working with multiple images, Photoshop has a way for you to control what you see. By default, they come up in a tab set since CS4. And you click the tabs up here, you can work on one at a time. Of course, things like your layers palette will only show you what the current image is. So you see the layers of the currently selected image. This button up here that we looked at earlier, but let's look at it again, just gives you the way to control what you see. For example, you have this button right here, which would actually put all the images kind of like next to each other. You have one over here, say this one, that puts one big one, two on the sides, but notice it's still got the other ones down here because we're only working with three. You've got, this one that puts them all next to each other vertically. Just different ways to manipulate the images in terms of what you see. You also have, let's take it back into our consolidate mode. So each one is in its own little window right now. Let's say we come to this one right here and we make it a little bit bigger. Maybe we come here and we change the zoom to 50%. Maybe we want everything at 50%, and I really don't want to do that 5 times. I can come up with this one selected at 50%, and I can tell the computer that I want to match the zoom, match location, or match zoom and location, and you'll notice all of them now are at 50%. This isn't really that big of a deal, and it's obviously not rocket science or any great epiphany. But when you're working with images in Photoshop and you have a lot of them open, it's important to know how to control those images so that you can get the best or the most amount of work done in the least amount of time. It makes sense when you think about it. Controlling multiple images.